Welcome to Oracle of Confidence. You've achieved objectively impressive things: promotions, recognition, results that speak for themselves. Yet sitting in meetings you think, when will they realize I don't belong here? You attribute success to luck, timing, who you know, anything except your actual capability. You see colleagues as confidence and assume they possess something you lack. You're convinced you're fooling everyone, and exposure is inevitable. This isn't humility, it's imposter syndrome, and you're not alone. Research reveals 82% of people experience imposter feelings at some point, with highest rates among high achievers. The paradox? The more you accomplish, the more fraudulent you feel, because the gap between your internal doubt and external success widens. But here's the truth obscured by that internal narrative. You're not an imposter. You're experiencing a predictable psychological pattern where your brain compares your messy internal reality to everyone else's curated external performance. And reclaiming your confidence starts not with achieving more, but with reconstructing how you interpret what you've already achieved. Imposter syndrome isn't about actual incompetence. It's about interpretation. Psychologists identify it as a pattern where individuals discount genuine accomplishments through external attribution and internal invalidation. You got promoted? They needed someone. You received praise? They're being nice. You delivered results? Anyone could have done it. Research shows imposter syndrome correlates with perfectionism, fear of failure, and chronic self-doubt, despite objective evidence of success. The mechanism: selective attention bias. You notice every mistake, forget every win. You magnify others' strengths, minimize your own. You see their highlight reel, compare it to your behind-the-scenes blooper footage, and conclude they're legitimate while you're pretending. This creates exhausting performance anxiety, constantly monitoring for the moment you're found out. The solution isn't achieving more external validation. It's reconstructing your internal narrative to accurately reflect your actual competence. You're not lacking skill. You're lacking accurate self-assessment. Meet Marcus. At 29, he was a software engineer who'd landed a senior role at a prestigious tech company. Objectively, his resume proved competence. Computer science degree, 5 years experience, projects with measurable impact, peer recommendations. But Marcus felt like a fraud. He'd attend meetings thinking, everyone here is smarter than me. I just got lucky. When they realize I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm done. He'd over-prepare obsessively, researching topics until 2 a.m., rehearsing comments, avoiding questions he couldn't answer perfectly. Colleagues saw Marcus as thorough and dedicated. Marcus saw himself as barely staying ahead of exposure. His internal monologue: they promoted the wrong person. I'm not senior level material. I'm just good at faking it. That belief, that his success was fraudulent despite objective evidence, kept him in constant anxiety, unable to enjoy achievements, terrified of visibility. His response? Work harder, prove himself. Maybe then the feeling would go away. Spoiler, it didn't. Marcus's first strategy was overwork. Feeling like an imposter, he worked longer hours, took extra projects, and over-delivered to justify belonging. But overwork reinforces imposter syndrome. Research shows it raises burnout by 67%, while reducing imposter feelings only 12%. His belief, I belong only if I work this hard, made normal hours feel fraudulent. His worth depended on unsustainable effort. Colleagues saw reliability, but also stress, poor delegation, and no celebration of wins. He finished projects without internalizing success. Overwork is a trap. You try to earn belonging already proven while reinforcing doubt. You're not building confidence. You're delaying the reckoning. Burned out, Marcus pursued perfection. If his work were flawless, doubt would vanish. He refined functional code endlessly, avoided risks, and fixated on minor errors. But perfectionism and imposter syndrome strongly correlate, 0.68, and fuel each other. His rule, "I'm legitimate only if perfect," turned normal mistakes into proof of fraud. A bug meant incompetence, not complexity. Perfectionism masquerades as high standards, but serves self-protection. If perfect, you can't be exposed. Since perfection is impossible, you repeatedly confirm your own inadequacy. You're not improving. You're setting unwinnable conditions for self-acceptance. When perfection failed, Marcus spiraled into comparison. He saw colleagues' confidence and polished output and concluded, "They belong. I'm pretending." Research shows social comparison increases imposter feelings by 43% because people compare their internal experience to others' external presentation. Marcus never saw their anxiety or messy drafts, only final performance. He treated his internal doubt as evidence of deficiency, while assuming others' confidence reflected inner certainty. Comparison is asymmetric, your full internal reality versus others' curated exterior. You're not less capable. You simply see more of your own process. Marcus's shift began during a retrospective when his manager interrupted his usual deflection and listed specific contributions: architecting solutions, identifying critical paths, unblocking issues. Asked why he minimized his impact, he recognized a pattern: discount wins, magnify mistakes, externalize success. He began tracking objective evidence weekly, concrete contributions with measurable outcomes. Over 3 months, he documented 36 instances of impact. When doubts surfaced, he referenced evidence. Feelings remained, but lost authority. He separated narrative from facts. He also practiced attribution reframing, crediting himself as he would others. Instead of "I got lucky," he asked, "What skill did I use?" Instead of assuming others were naturally talented, he acknowledged their effort. Research shows attribution reframing reduces imposter feelings by 31% within 12 weeks, while preserving accurate self-assessment. Within 6 months, his narrative shifted. He wasn't faking it, he was learning. Imposter syndrome wasn't truth, it was a story, and evidence could rewrite it. Stop assessing capability by feelings. Build a record of measurable contributions. Weekly, write 3 specific outcomes. Designed feature X, reduced complaints 18%. Research shows contribution logs reduce imposter feelings by 28% and improve self-assessment by 34%. When doubt arises, consult evidence. Start this week. Expect shifts in 8 to 12 weeks. This isn't inflation, it's accuracy. Correct asymmetric attribution. Credit your successes to skill, not luck. View others' success as effort, not innate talent. When praised, replace deflection with specifics. I focused on X and it worked. Research confirms reframing reduces imposter syndrome by 31%. Build the habit over 6 to 8 weeks. You're not inflating ego. You're applying consistent standards. You compare your internal doubts to others' polished performance. Assume others also experience uncertainty behind the scenes. This behind-the-scenes assumption reduces comparison anxiety by 37% and imposter feelings by 29%. Their confidence reflects presentation, not absence of doubt. Your internal mess reflects awareness, not inadequacy. Practice imagining their process as complex as yours. Relief is immediate. Internalization takes 8 to 10 weeks. You're not less capable. You're just seeing more of your own reality. You're not an imposter. You're a capable person experiencing a predictable psychological pattern that mistakes internal doubt for external reality. Here's the empowering truth. The fact that you doubt yourself isn't evidence you're unqualified. It's often evidence you're aware of complexity, humble about what you don't know, and holding yourself to standards that reflect conscientiousness, not fraudulence. Imagine 6 months from now. You receive praise and accept it accurately. You make a mistake and see it as normal learning, not exposure. You sit in meetings feeling legitimate because you've documented the evidence of your contributions. You see colleagues' confidence and recognize they're managing doubt too, just differently. That version of you, accurately self-assessed, confident in documented competence, is accessible, not someday. Now. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. And part of loving what you do is recognizing you're capable of doing it. Adapted from Steve Jobs, emphasizing self-recognition as foundation for meaningful work. That's the power of evidence-based self-assessment. Subscribe to Oracle of Confidence for frameworks on confidence and accurate self-perception. Drop a comment. What's one documented contribution you're proud of this week? Your confidence reconstruction starts now.